Okay, our Nancy Cordes is following the response from the Trump team, and she joins us now. So you heard a little bit of that discussion that I had with Willie James, Nancy, which is the language that the president used, which is eerily similar to the language that former President Trump and his supporters have used when it comes to the Justice Department, the politicization of the Justice Department, almost as if this is a witch hunt against his son, when in the past the president had told you and other reporters in the world that he would stand by the decision of the Department of Justice. So now, how is President-elect Trump reacting to the news?
Well, he reacted very quickly, Vlad, and interestingly, online he posted this: "Does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter include the January 6th hostages who have been imprisoned for years?" Now, you might wonder, what's the connection between Hunter Biden, who was then essentially tried on tax evasion, and these January 6th defendants who have been accused of a variety of things, including assaulting police officers? The answer is there is no direct connection, except for the fact that about 200 January 6th defendants have already been sentenced. Hundreds more are awaiting trial. And Donald Trump has repeatedly indicated for years now that if he were to be reelected, he would pardon some, if not all of them. And so this is Trump saying essentially, OK, Biden has pardoned somebody who he cares about in a controversial way, and perhaps this opens the door for me to do the same thing. Now, there are Democrats, Vlad, who say that the fact that Biden has done this basically opens the door for Donald Trump to do the same thing and pardon these January 6th defendants who, again, have been accused, some of them, of violent crimes. But then there are other Democrats who argue, Trump was going to do this regardless of whether Biden made a move to pardon his own son or not.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. The other interesting sort of question that we're all waiting to hear from the president on is why he chose to make that pardon essentially over the course of 10 years, thereby negating that statute of limitations, something I guess only the president can answer. But of course, it fuels the conspiracy theories that others perhaps have out there, including supporters of the president-elect, who say there must be something there. If not, why would you do it? Why would you do it for those 10 years, Nancy?
Right. And that's one of the questions that we would love to ask the president of the United States. I think it's no accident that he made this announcement just as he was about to board the plane to head to Angola, where he'll be for several days. So he's really out of the reach of questions from reporters if he wants to be. And even his press secretary, who would normally hold briefings in the White House briefing room, have to answer those questions for the world to see. She's traveling with him, so she may answer reporters' questions behind the scenes, as she did just this morning as they were traveling, but she won't have to be on camera answering the questions as well. And so obviously the hope is that somehow this will die down over the next few days before Joe Biden arrives back on U.S. soil.
Really quickly, Nancy, let me just ask you about two of the president's potential appointees, or appointees that have not been confirmed by the Senate, including Kash Patel for FBI director, and Pete Hegseth, whose the past continues to bubble up in news reports. What is your sense of whether or not, for example, Kash Patel can be confirmed by the Senate, given his past history and given the fact that he's never been an FBI agent and some of the statements that he's made in public about what he would do should he lead a department like the Federal Bureau of Investigation?
Right. Typically, in modern times, presidents tend to nominate someone for FBI director who is seen as apolitical, because obviously this is a very sensitive position. You have the entire weight of the FBI behind you. You can investigate whoever you want. And so, presidents typically want to avoid nominating someone like J. Edgar Hoover, who, was widely seen to have gone after the president's own enemies. And so, Christopher Wray is someone, for example, who has tried to avoid any appearance of being on either side, Democrat or Republican. Here you have Kash Patel, who has made no secret of what side he is on. In fact, he has said in the past that he thinks that the FBI should go after Donald Trump's enemies, including politicians and the media. And so the question is how this will go over with Republicans who by and large are eager to show that they are supportive of the president and his nominees.
All right, we'll see. To be continued, Nancy Cordes for us in West Palm Beach. As always, Nancy, good to see you. Happy Monday.